Okay, I'm back again. Hello, everybody. This is Sharonda, and this is my YouTube channel as well as podcast, Spiritual Sense. Today is again Friday, August the 5th. And in this podcast, I go over topics in regards to the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. And so I'm briefly going to go into the topic for today. I'd like to start off by saying that this podcast, as well as this YouTube channel, is for entertainment purposes. And so let's proceed. So I am going to speak on a topic today, and I think I'm going to record another one after I do this one because it just came to mind that I need to speak on a particular topic. So today's topic is metaphysics. Metaphysics. Now, I hadn't heard this word before until I got into my 20s because I began to have things that happen and transpire in my life, and it was beyond, you know, my control. And I knew it was God. I visited several churches and, read genre of self-help books and things of the sort. And that's when I discovered this word, metaphysics. I'm going to read off what the definition of metaphysics is, and then I'm going to proceed into some information that I got pulled up here. So it says metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principle of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. Um, so it encompasses everything that exists as well as the nature of existence itself. It says whether the world is real or merely an illusion, it is a fundamental view of the world around us. So that's basically a basic term for metaphysics. So you will ask things such as what is truth? What is untruth? What is soul? What is God? Who is the creator of this universe? How the universe was created? It does not care about the utility of these truths. So that's basically giving you um, purpose essentially is what metaphysics is, causal effect, things of the sort. It also encompasses synchronicity and serendipity. And I will speak on those subjects after I record with this particular podcast as well as YouTube presentation. So I am on a website. Metaphysics, is the branch of philosophy that studies the fundamental nature of reality, the first principles of being, identity and change, space and time, causality, necessity and possibility. It includes questions about the nature of consciousness and the relationship between mind and matter, between substance and attribute, and between potentiality and actuality. The word metaphysics comes from two Greek words that together literally means after or behind or among the study of nature. It has been suggested that the term might have been coined by a first century CE editor who assembled various small selection of Aristotle's work into the treatises we know now by the name of metaphysics. So basically, it mentions about metaphysical study is conducted using deduction from that which is known as priori, and I may be mispronouncing that. So like foundational mathematics, It tries to give a coherent account of the structure of the world, capable of explaining our everyday and scientific perceptions of the world and being free from contradictions. So in mathematics, there are so many different ways to define numbers. Similarly, in metaphysics, there are many different ways to define objects, properties, concepts, and other entities that are claimed to make up the world. While metaphysics may, as a special case, study the entities postulated by fundamental science such as atoms and superstrings, its core topic is the set of categories such as object, property, and causality, which those scientific theories assume. So I'm not going to go a lot in this because I don't want this podcast as well as this YouTube channel. Anybody can go in here and just read stuff like that, you know. But it's more deeper than you would know. To sum it all up is, how we say the universe, karma, cause and effect because of this, because of that. And you will begin to see um the biggest trick the devil will ever pull is convincing the world he did not exist. So these spirits are taunting, these spirits are deceptive. I don't have to go in your house to know certain things. However, you will be pulled to a certain area or pulled to a certain thing. And once you begin to see how God works, you simply just channeling a spirit through. This is by way of God. This is by way of God. So this is to enlighten and to mentor a lot of individuals who take things personal. Like you would know when something is being done by way of a spirit versus not. Some things in life just so happen to happen, and I do understand, don't get me wrong, because I don't want people to feel as though the senseless deaths of of their family members by the hands of people that are in authority is to be um overlooked. No, that is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. So a reference in regards to mind and matter, accounting for the existence of mind in a world largely composed of matter, is a metaphysical problem which is so large and important as to have become a specialized subject of study in its own right. Philosophy of mind. So it is very, very more complex than you would know. Um, Many people denounce metaphysics. They don't want to hear metaphysics. They don't want to understand um, cause and effect and things of that nature. That something just happened to happen. They want answers. They want, you know, and I can understand that. But once you begin to realize how the enemy operates, he does uses certain individuals as a vessel to carry out an unfavorable act. I'm not going to sit here and say it's justifiable because that's why I mentioned about the two-headed snake. I said that the two-headed snake, angels and demons are essentially the same thing. They're two-faced, they're two-headed. So that's why you want to shield yourself, you want to protect yourself, and you don't want to get caught up and deceived by these spirits because they will turn on you. Plain and simple. So I give you an account. So I Again, getting back to my account in regards to metaphysics. So, like I said, I had a lot of things to happen to transpire over when I meditated and I had my conversation with God, and God spoke to me and presented things to me and things that He wanted me to see in this life experience. And I began to, read book and do research on metaphysics and what it was all about. And I have a book, and I should have gotten it for this presentation, but it's a book that I bought, all that you ever wanted. I want to say that's the name of the book, and it's by a doctor who is a metaphysicist, among other um, things. And in the book, she goes in details about how um, certain things that happen within your uh, space symbolically will enlighten you about what's about to occur. And she gave a couple of instances an account of herself and other people in the book where God enlightened us by the very mere animals as such about things that are occurring and that can occur. He does. And if you sit back and take the time to pay attention, he would give you discernment. This is God. This is how he give you discernment about things. And when you have um, people that would tell you to the contrary of how God happens, he will show you that they are operating out of a different spirit. See, many times people, when they're not familiar with too many things, they will speak against it. They will say, oh, that is devilish word. Don't listen to it, da 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 da. As I mentioned, the biggest trick the devil ever pulled is convincing the world he and she did not exist. You will begin to see that just because somebody shares the same commonality as you, there may be times where they're not of your like mind. Just because someone shares your name or you brought here as family does not necessarily mean that they are for your cause. And they would deceive you and set you up and to where you will make a transition. That is the truth. Now I'm not trying to sit here and make people paranoid or stir up any animosity or strife between family members and things of the sort. But once the eyes has been opened, you'll begin to see it for what it is. Okay. So it is a good read, and let me see if I'm able to pull up the actual name of the book. All you ever wanted, I think, wanted book, and I'm going to give you an account. All the things you ever want. I can't pull it up, and I do apologize for that. I should have been better prepared prior to. Prior to recording all the things you ever wanted. I'm not able to everything you ever wanted. Okay, so I may have it pulled up. I'm not able to follow it right now, but it's basically giving you an example how energy works, and what you put out in the atmosphere oftentimes will return back to you, will reciprocate back to you. And you have to be very mindful of the things that you say, the information and negativity that you put out, because many times it's music to many people's ears. Some people may want to hear, um, you know, when there's strife or there's some type of adversity, they will what? They would capitalize off of that. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and someone may hear, oh, I wish you were dead, or I wish you would die, or I wish you would go to hell, or something like that, you will have spirits that inhabit those individuals who are in tune to hear that, who will make that apparent. So that's why you have to be very careful as to the energies you put out. Trust and believe it. If I don't stay prayed up, if I don't stay in tune with my spirit, I'm able to pick up on a lot of that energy. So that's essentially what I'm getting at in terms of metaphysics right now. Okay. Now, meditation is a very, you have to be, uh, it is not nothing that I'm going to sit here and suggest that many people will do. Although I may put it in presentations in regards to chakra clearing and cleansing and things of the sort, um, to deeply meditate, like when you get into a uh, mode to where you can actually have an out of body experience. That is real. That is a deep state, and when you do that, it makes you susceptible to a world beyond measure. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest that you get into it. You may, but I kid you not, it's going to open your eyes to a whole nother existence. I just put it that way. So I have did positive imagery where I took, slow deep breaths and kind of like, ponder on a nice scenery. But meditation involves something very much deeper than that. So when I like to also state that, when I mention about meditation and things like that, there's different degrees in meditation. Now, if you're talking in terms of monks and things of the sort, that is a different, you have to be somebody that's trained to do that. And I'm not going to sit here and say I am, because it's not nothing to play with. Okay. So I am going to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sense speaking about metaphysics. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.